Good afternoon. I'm going to do a little MPG update on my 4BT powered F150. Now in the past videos of this series I had street tires on this. I believe I still had the factory front coil springs, so this thing sat a lot lower. Didn't have the canopy, and I didn't quite have this on. When I did my MPG test, I was measuring actually how much fuel I was putting in and judging by the fuel gauge, and that was kind of yielding a 28 to 32 mile per gallon average around town, which may have been close enough, but I have since fixed my fuel tanks. I can now fill them at like the highest rate, like the full rate that diesel pumps put out these days, or have been putting out. I think it's like 10 gallons a minute or something like that. Anyways, I have no problem filling up now, so I can just have them put the thing in, it fills it right up. So it goes to click at just when it gets full. Like, it doesn't click off when it's halfway or whatever, it just works. I've already had the injection pump rebuilt on this because coming back from California it went out, and so I was yielding without the canopy, but with these tires and everything as it is now, just without the canopy, I was yielding 28 miles to the gallon on the freeway, doing 65, 70 miles an hour at about 2200 RPMs. And that's with a BD diesel fuel pin and 3200 RPM governor spring. And no overdrive, hence the 2200 RPMs. And it has a 3-to-1 ring and pinion in it. Really not else much to it. I had the old thermostat, so I don't think it was quite getting the temperature when I was leaving Oregon, because it was still kind of cool here at the time I went. So it got better once it got into warmer climates. So I've since had my injection pump rebuilt. It's the same one that's in here, but refreshed. Everything in it was gone. That was a 1050 rebuild on that. And I had them install a governor spring, even though I already had one. When I had them look at it, I gave them my factory stuff because I wanted to keep my aftermarket stuff just out of superstitious just general concern. So I kept my stuff and just had them install a spring and calibrate it to that spring. And so since putting in here, it's been about the same or more. I haven't really been calculating a whole lot, except for recently when I put my I took the factory fuel pin out, put in my BD diesel fuel pin, and I found that the factory pin in there wasn't actually attached to anything. It was loose and fueled up all the way the whole time, so I was getting 24 miles to the gallon on the highway, and yeah. So I've put that fuel pin in and tightened it down, and it actually is working. And just around town I've been getting it's been 100 degrees lately the past couple weeks since I filled up, and I've been getting 23 miles to the gallon in town. And I should also mention I have a mechanical fan on it now, and I have a brand new Cummins thermostat in it, and it warms up all the time. Within like 5 to 10 minutes it gets up to operating temperature and just stays at one temperature. I have a 36 gallon fuel tank, and it's usually full. So if I'm getting 23 miles to the gallon, I've got a canopy, I got this kind of bulky bumper, the big tires, a 3-to-1 ring and pinion, which is kind of requires granny first to be used. And I'm getting 23. That's what my Mazda 3 got around town. And so 11 gallons will get me about 260 miles. So and after that I still have like 20 gallons of fuel left. So I've been pretty happy so far. And the fuel pin in conjunction with the governor spring helps a ton. I think, as far as fuel economy goes, because I was getting 23 on the highway, and it's like now it's, you know, I can actually go on the highway without it being fueled up all the time, because the turbo was spooling up, like just instantly. Like I just barely touched the pedal and it would go to like almost full boost. So that's totally not cool for EGTs. City fuel economy is 23 miles per gallon. So that's good around town for this truck with the windows open and that side vent hooked out. So, you know, it's not aerodynamic at all, and I'm getting 23 around town. Like that's awesome. And it is two-wheel drive, just so that you all know, those that are new to this video. Yeah, 23 in the city. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to be getting a 5-speed transmission for it soon. Unfortunately, I'm not going with the ZF5 that I had originally planned, or that I've been on and off about. I'm going to go with an M5R2. I have my concerns with that transmission as well, but I know the fixes and to be easy with that tranny. And I don't really race shift, so we shouldn't be breaking any shift forks. I just know we have to put steel plugs in the shift rails, keep it from leaking fluid, and keep it a little bit over full, and use Dexron 2 or 3, I think. I think it's going to be Dexron 3. The other thing with that is the M5R2 will still obviously bolt up into here, and then the drive shaft should go right back into that transmission because it is a 31 spline. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with, is an M5R2. And I don't necessarily tow a whole lot with it, and if I do, it's just under 5,000 pounds. You know, the engine can tow more than that, but as far as the drivetrain stuff goes, I know it could probably handle more, but I just don't tow that much. May pull the occasional car, which is also under 5,000 pounds. So, but anyways, that's the MPG update, and in this truck, not really much else to it. So, anyways, stay tuned for upcoming videos of the truck. I still have a lot that I need to do to it, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And I usually post 1 to 2 videos a week, so keep watching. I'm so stupid, I gotta go.